Listen, what kind of salesperson are you, and why is that important?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can go in two different directions with this guy.
Okay.
I could tell you about what I am, but you kind of know. But I think it's very important for everybody to know what type of salesperson they are.
There we go.
And if, by the way, if they could even feel comfortable describing themselves as a salesperson. People go to a million different lengths, I'm consultant, I'm a broker, they just want to stay away from that word because it thinks it pushes people away.
Yeah.
And I think relating to people is probably the most important thing you can do as a salesperson, and that ought to be your thing that you work on, your skill, and becoming blatantly honest with people. Let me tell you a story. I gave a presentation once at a prison,
Okay.
and it was more like a halfway house, but there were some real criminals in there, people who
Right.
have done hard time, and then they were coming out for this halfway thing, and they would have speakers come in and speak for the transition to help them transition, and a bunch of really nice people, or people that were really worried about themselves and their future and all that stuff, very tense and all that. But in this position that I was in, there was one person who I was terrified of. I mean, as a speaker, what you want to do is make eye contact with as many people as possible. This guy I was staying away from.
Wow.
He was tall and had some people have a resting smile,
Right.
And he had a resting, I'm going to kill you face.
Oh.
And so it was really kind of tough, but he was there and he was watching the whole thing. And I would go around him and talk to other people, but I never wanted to make eye contact with him. He was peering right through me. And afterwards, after the presentation, which went over pretty well, he came up to me and he waited for everybody else who was in line, and then they wanted to talk to me, and then he was the last person, and someone that I avoided. And he said to me, I really appreciate what you said today. It was important, kind of touched me, and it was a big change for me because I'm a white supremacist, and I was put in jail because I acted out against Jews like you.
Wow.
And he said to me, the words you said, I realized you're really just another person. That's the type of salesperson I am, and I think people should be. Realize that you're not selling to a group, you're not selling to a bank, you're not selling to a company, you're not selling to a division, you're not selling to a nonprofit. You're selling to a person who has those same feelings and responses that you would have also. And if you could remember that, you don't have to worry about selling. You get to the point where you realize that people hate to be sold, but they love to buy.
That's great.